Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday, the 20th of September. It's amazing how quickly this month and even really the whole year has gone by. It's a pretty nice day here. Hope you've had a great day where you are. Today's good news is out of the state of Ohio, so a lot closer to home for most of us here. Today I'm going to read a story about a cooperative program between the state of Ohio and a country music singer. I think you'll like it, hopefully. Apologize for the noise. I'm in my usual spot. So I'll get right into that. I'm going to read this a good news story, then I'll read a couple of Bible verses, and that probably will be it for today. So this is called First Lady Fran DeWine launches new Imagination Library sign-up process for parents. Ohio First Lady Fran DeWine introduces a plan allowing parents to enroll newborns in the Imagination Library while filling out hospital birth forms. I'm going to read probably most of this because it's pretty short, and then I'll put a link in the description box like I usually do. This is from Columbus, Ohio. Ohio First Lady Fran DeWine announced Friday a new statewide effort to sign up children for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library as soon as they're born. Parents will now be able to enroll their newborns in the free book program while completing birth certificate paperwork at the hospital. The change is designed to ensure more children receive age-appropriate books in the first years of development. Fascinating. Research has shown that 80% of a child's brain is developed by age 3, so we want to get books into the home as early as possible in order to have the most impact, DeWine said. One simple check mark will give Ohio's little ones a great start in life. That is true. The Imagination Library mails one book each month to children from birth through age 5. Families who enroll at birth will have the chance to receive the full collection of books, of 60 books offered through the program. Governor Mike DeWine joined the program along with country music star Zach Brown, who performed and donated a signed guitar for auction to support the initiative. Coincidentally, since 2019, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library of Ohio has mailed nearly 23 million books to children at no cost to their families. More than 404,000 children, about 70% of Ohio households with children under the age of 5, are currently enrolled. If you want more information, you can sign up at ohioimaginationlibrary.org. That is amazing. And it is free, all thanks to the First Lady of Country Music, Dolly Parton. She has always been a very gracious and very giving woman, a very classy lady, and not just in country music, but for our country, a national treasure for sure. So I thought that was inspirational and a very positive, uplifting story for today. Today I wanted to read a couple of verses about helping the poor and what God says about that. And then that'll probably be it for today. Deuteronomy 15:10. Give generously to them and do so without a grudging heart. Then because of this, the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in everything you put your hand to. I think the important part there is without a grudging heart. That's from the Old Testament. I wanted to say something from the New Testament also. Matthew 25:35 through 40. Everyone's heard this, but it bears repeating. Jesus states, "For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. Whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did also for me." So I won't say much else about that. I will tell you personally something I just want to brag about. Someone from my own family once, my oldest son, he was maybe 4 or 5, and we were on a short weekend trip from where we were stationed in Texas, and we had gone across the border into Mexico. And like you see so many times It's impoverished. It's, there are a lot of poor families especially along the border, and there was a mother and several of her children, and they were selling bead necklaces, bead bracelets, candies, and things like that. And it was in the winter. I remember it was December time frame, something like that. It was cold, and it had just rained, so it was wet. It was very cold. And of course, we had our jackets and our gloves and things like that on. But this family, they were not so blessed. And my oldest son, he saw this boy about the same age as he was. He did not have a jacket, and his clothes were not the best, and he was cold. But he was on one side of a street selling these wares that he and his family had made to tourists, and his mom and the other smaller children were on the other side selling, and he was cold, he was freezing, and without any sort of he didn't ask his mom, he didn't ask me or anything, but my oldest son took his jacket off and gave it to the other kid, gave it to this little Mexican boy. He didn't ask, he just did it. And I thought, man, at first my thought was, hey, why did you just, but then I was so proud of him for doing that. It just overwhelmed me to be so proud of my son to do something like that. The right thing to do, So we should be like that every day to our brothers and sisters, because we are all brothers and sisters. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Remember that we are all brothers and sisters. God doesn't love any of us any more than anyone else. God loves you, and I love you. I'll see you next time.